Today we'll be studying unit rates. As always, take notes and practice the examples along with me. So the first thing is the definition of a unit rate. A unit rate describes how many units of a first type of quantity corresponds to 1 unit of the second type of quantity. So again, get that definition written down. Some examples of that would be miles per hour, cost per item, earnings per hour. In each of these examples, the first quantity, so the miles per hour, relates to 1 unit of the second quantity. So if I say I drive 45 miles per hour, that means that I literally can drive 45 miles if given an hour of drive time. All right, so what we're dealing with today with unit rates is figuring out which one is a better buy. And this is something you will come across once you start grocery shopping and paying for your items and other, pieces in life. But you will need to know which is a better deal because they have the small boxes and they have the big boxes. And the small box looks like it costs less because it's 18 ounces. It's $3.96. But a big box is 24 ounces and $4.80. So you're asking yourself, which one is a better deal? And that's what we're going to learn today, is to figure out which one is the better deal. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to write your information as a ratio. So you've got $3.96 equals over 18 ounces because the cost of the cereal for the small box is $3.96, and that's for 18 ounces. So then what we're going to do is figure out how much it is per 1 ounce. So let me grab a calculator. So I write down my ratio, $3.96 equals 18 ounces. And I'm trying to figure out what 1 ounce costs. So I take my calculator and I divide $3.96 divided by 18. And I get 0.22. So that tells me that every ounce of this cereal costs 22 cents. And since this box has 18 ounces, flipping 18 times 22 cents equals $3.96. Now let's check out the big box. The big box costs $4.80, but it's a 24-ounce box. So the same thing, we write our ratio. And again, we're wanting to find out what it costs for 1 ounce so we can compare the two. So I'll take my calculator and divide $4.80 divided by 24, and it equals 20 cents. So, with this information, you can see that purchasing the larger box of cereal might cost $4.86, and it looks like it's more money than this, but you're getting a better value per ounce of cereal. So for every ounce of cereal in this box, it costs 20 cents, whereas every ounce in this box costs 22 cents. And that might not be a big deal for you right now, but the more ounces that it is, the more money you're, throwing away. Let's look at another example, another way of doing it. So not only can I set my unit price to the ounce, I can also say, hey, for $1, how many ounces can I buy? So this time, instead of just saying $3.96 equals 18 ounces and trying to figure out per ounce, I want to find out per dollar. So I'm going to put $1 at the top. So my variable that I'm trying to figure out is how many ounces I can purchase for $1. So this time, I have to figure out, thinking back to ratios and equivalent fractions, how did I get from $3.96 to $1? Well, this time I divided $3.96 divided by 1. And obviously that's $3.96. So I do the same thing down here. So this time it's 18 divided by $3.96. And that tells me that I can get 4.5 ounces of cereal for every $1 that I spend with a small box of cereal. Let's try the large one. $4.80 per 24 ounces. I want to spend $1, again, I did divided by 480 to get to $1. Do the same thing to the bottom. Divide by 480. So 24 divided by $4.80 equals 5 ounces. It's important to keep your units the same. So I've got dollars on the top and I've got ounces on the bottom. And this scenario tells me that for $1, I can purchase 5 ounces of cereal. Or for $1, I can purchase 4.5 ounces of cereal. Well, logically, $1 getting yourself more cereal of the same kind is a better deal for you. Let's try another one. What is the unit price of a smaller bottle? So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put $4 on top. It doesn't matter which one you do. And 64 ounces right here. And if I want to find out the cost per ounce, 1 ounce goes here. And again, 64, I got to 1 by dividing by 64, so to do the same thing to the top. I skipped that on the first page, but it's the same information. So 4 divided by 4 divided by 64 is 6 cents per ounce. So for every ounce I buy, it costs 6 cents. Now my large bottle is $6.24 for 96 ounces. And if I want to find out what 1 ounce costs, set it equal to 1. So that's basically divided by 96. Divide by 96. So $6.24 divided by 96 equals. This time, let me go back up here because this is important. It's minor, but it's important. Let me get a different color as well. My first answer wasn't just 6 cents. It was actually 6 cents and a 3, so 63 thousandths. And I'm going to include that this time because this time, when I divide, it is 65 hundredths. So thinking about money, this is going to cause that to round up to 0.7 because the 5 influences that 6. And this one's going to be 0.6 cents and 0.7 cents. So this tells me that I'm going to have to pay 7 cents per ounce for the larger bottle, or I could pay 6 cents per ounce for a smaller bottle. So this time, it's a better deal for me to buy the smaller version. You never know. You just have to check the prices when you go to the grocery store. And let's do one more example. Taking the unit rate. Back to my very first one, I said 45. I drove 45 miles, and I drove it in 1 hour. The way you can take unit rates and help you is with this information. I can then say, hey, I want to drive 4 hours to see how far I can get. Well, over here, I can say 4 hours. Well, how did I get from the 4? I multiply by 4 units. I do the same thing over here. And 45 times 4 is 180 miles. So knowing how to use the unit rate of something to the equaling 1 unit can help you plan a trip. So if I knew that I could drive 4 hours without taking a break, driving at 45 miles per hour, I know I can go 180 miles with that information. And that's unit rates.